Hey everybody, welcome back. I wanted to check out some of the footage from our trail cameras after having the cameras out there for about 2 weeks. I refilled this barrel on 8/19 about 1 p.m. and we don't have any new bears showing up here until on the 22nd around 2:09 in the morning. This is the same female that we've seen before with the 2 cubs. She has that white patch on her chest, so you know it's her when she shows up. And she's always got the cubs with her. They stick around till about 3:05 that morning, so they were there almost an hour. It seems as if the mom is a little nervous. She seems like she's on alert, looking around the whole time. Mom and the cubs haven't been gone very long, and a new bear shows up. So this is bear number 4 that we've seen now since we put the new food out. This bear shows up at 3:22 a.m. This bear is not particularly happy with the stick blocking the entrance to the barrel. They first try to open it up by pulling on top of the barrel. You can see they're putting their weight to kind of rock it back and forth. And then they go down and they knock the stick out of the way. They appear to be on alert initially, and then they seem to get a little bit more comfortable. They stay there for about an hour, and then they leave around 4:23. Later that evening at 7:50 p.m., this is again on the 22nd, the mom and the 2 cubs return. So our count's going to stay at 4 bears at this point. She seems a little more calm this time, but they only stay for about 15 minutes. About 5 minutes later, a new bear shows up. We'll call this bear number 5. I'm guessing this is why Mom and the cubs left so soon. I believe this is a large male, and he stays around for about 10 minutes. Maybe he's more interested in the female and the cubs than he is in the food. Another bear shows up about 30 minutes later. It's 9:03 p.m. I think this is the same large bear that was there 30 minutes ago. He seems to be on alert the whole time he's there, but he does take some time to eat. Maybe the mom and the cubs are still nearby and he just knows they're around. Eventually he leaves at 9:38, carrying some food off in his mouth. He was there for about 30 minutes again. Ten minutes later, another bear shows up. But again, I think this is that same large male that we've been seeing. So I'm going to keep the count at 5 bears. He stays for maybe another 15 minutes, and then he leaves at 10:06 p.m. on the 22nd. And then here we are another 20 minutes, still on 8:22. After that, 20 minutes after that large bear has left, another bear shows up at 10:24 p.m. This appears to be the mom with the white patch and the 2 cubs again. So we'll leave the count at 5 at this point. They're there for about 45 minutes until something scares them off around 11:19 that evening. I don't know what scared them off. Nothing else shows up on the camera until it's the next morning on the 23rd at 4:30 a.m. and she shows back up. And they stick around for about 10 minutes this morning. So now the sun has risen on the 23rd. It's about 7:51 a.m. and we see another bear show up. And we've seen this bear before, but not in this video. So we're going to call this bear number 6. They don't stay around for very long, and they usually don't in the past when I've seen them either. They're only here for about a minute, and then they walk off. Now we're at 7:45 on the evening of the 23rd. A bear shows up. I think this is the same large male we've been seeing that we saw last night. And so I'm going to leave the count at 6 bears. They only stay for about 10 minutes before they run off. At 9:19 on the 23rd, that same large male shows up again, and he stays around this time for about 20 minutes. We don't see anything else until the next evening on the 24th at 8:48 p.m. That same large male shows up again, and then he leaves about 15 minutes later. About 30 minutes later, he again shows up at 9:37, and he stays around for about an hour this time. So then we move on to the 25th. At 12:35, a large, what I think is a male, shows up. This one looks bigger than the other one that we've been seeing show up. I don't know if it's really the same one or not. So I'm not sure. Do we have 2 large males showing up, or is it still that same one? I just really can't tell. Then later that evening on the 25th at 8:07, bear number 7 shows up. They get comfortable for about 35 minutes, and then they leave at 8:42. "15 minutes later, at 9:03 on the 25th, that large male shows up again, and he stays until about 9:31. And then about 45 minutes later, at 10:12 on the 25th, bear number 8 shows up. They stick around for about 40 minutes. They seem to run off a couple of times. Something scares them a couple of times, but they seem to keep coming back. And then about an hour and a half later, at 12:22 in the morning on the 26th, bear number 9 shows up. Well, maybe it's bear number 8 again. They show up and they leave pretty quickly. We'll leave the count at 8. And then about 30 minutes later, at 12:55 a.m. on the 26th, that large male shows up again. And he sticks around for about 20 minutes and then leaves at 1:14 a.m. That large male shows up again about an hour and a half later at 2:44 a.m. and he stays about 45 minutes this time and leaves a little bit after 3 a.m. Then finally at 4:51 a.m. on the 26th, another small bear shows up. I think we've seen this one before, so I'm going to leave the count at 8 bears. They stay around for about 10 minutes. So it was a total of 8, maybe 9 bears we saw this week eating off the food. And then here we show back up on the 26th to fill the barrel back up. It's great to see 8, maybe 9 bears showing up, but I'm a little concerned that they're showing up late in the evening. So we'll have to just see what happens when we're out there next week when we start hunting them. I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to like this video, give me some comments, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We would really love to have you. And share this video out with your family and friends as we're trying to grow the channel. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys next time.